You stand at the dock, stand on your toes, water on your feet. The ocean has always scared you, even to the point where you've just ignored the water your whole life. Yet, it's never been the fear of drowning that scared you per se. Hell, you'd love to be covered by the love of the sea. But whenever you see others in the ocean, or think about it at all, you feel it, the weight of it all. The weight of 1,000 suns crush you. Ironically, it's always been your biggest dream to swim, to glide along the waves as if happy to stay in the salty seas. You finally said, screw it, I'm going to jump in the water and see what happens. As you approach the edge, many divers and swimmers surround you. Some sing songs of encouragement, trying to reassure you that it is okay, and that you will be fine. Others, however, warn dangers of lying in the sea. These old divers warn that it's not going to be easy, and that not many make it out alive. You take a deep breath and dive. Dysphoria is weird. This video isn't really going to be very, informative, so if you're looking for medical resources or a way to deal with your transition, I have other videos centered around that topic. I say that like I have a whole catalog. I have 2 whole videos. This video is going to be more about my personal feelings and how dysphoria feels. I will be making my HRT timeline video soonish. I am probably not going to be able to finish it sometime this year because honestly, I'm getting a bit sick of just making videos about the same topic. But I do have a video that's going to be probably coming out like immediately after this one. I know I shouldn't fucking made you guys wait 6 months, and now I'm going to post another video like as soon as I finish this one. Which, by the way, I'm cramming this video in one night. I'm going to finish it tonight. I am determined. But anyways, back on topic. I am going to be making it soonish. I just thought I'd make an easier video to script first. Just make something as my full timeline video. Will be a big video to reproduce. This video will be split into 3 different chapters explaining 3 main triggers for my personal dysphoria. So if you like my voice, you're gonna love this video, as I'm basically just yapping for however long this video is. I'll also include timestamps if you want to see a specific trigger. Chapter 1, Gender Envy. This is probably the most common and most well-known trigger for dysphoria. So well-known, in fact, I even had a whole ramble about it in my first, trans coming out video. So, I won't waste your time, or mine, by redoing the whole segment. But I'll say some stuff here, and I will try not to repeat myself. I get really, really jealous. Most guys my age have a very intense feeling of attraction when looking at an attractive girl. I really don't. I always felt a sense of jealousy, never really a sense of, lust. And unlike many guys my age, I feel awful when I look at them. Absolutely awful. I feel like such an asshole because I point out all the parts of them that I want and then compare myself to them, which makes me so jealous and can sometimes just ruin the whole entire day. I look at them and think how funny, how cruel, how tragic that they can just go through their entire lives not having to question their own face when they wake up. It's not their fault. In fact, I feel awful for even feeling this way. But in some ways, I wish I never saw them. Online too, that's why I don't really use TikTok as much. Although ever since chapter 5, my whole feed's been all about deltoring content, so that's been good. It's been distracting me. Because whenever I go on there, usually I just see a really good-looking passing trans person, or just a really stereotypically attractive person, and I just feel awful, yet I don't stop watching because I love to make myself feel terrible. I look so hard to try to find a flaw or imperfection, but can you really find imperfection in one thing that you've always wanted? I mean, to an extent, all forms of triggers, except for one specific one, are kind of just subcategories of this one. Things are getting better for me. It's been really nice to finally get better, but I've still got a whole lot of things to do. And sometimes it gets really bad, and I can't seem to find a motivation to do anything, which is why this video has taken fucking 6 months to get out. And I've become really insufferable to be around, but those times are happening less and less, luckily. And if I'm being completely honest, it will never be cured. These feelings, I feel, there'll always be something, and something you guys need to know is that transition won't cure everything. Which is actually why I recommend listening to some detransitioners. Obviously not the ones that turn on the trans community and rally for less rights and make it so it's harder for people who are trans to get medication. But the ones who transitioned realized it wasn't something that they like and it was just something else entirely. Because you need to be certain that this is what you want. being trans is not fun. Like, people sometimes say, oh, being trans is a fetish. Like, a fetish is something that you enjoy. Like, I don't enjoy being trans. And you don't have to hate yourself to be trans, but you certainly will hate yourself at some point. And, you know, being trans is like society's current scapegoat. Like, it's not very fun. But I'll talk about that when I get to that. You know, spoiler warning. TDLR is to be certain this is what you want, as it can be amazing and so fulfilling. But you need to make sure that you actually want the benefits and not just like the status of being trans. Anyway, side tangent over. I have thoughts that make me sound like a fucking incel. But it's not out of any hatred towards women. It's more out of like just jealousy. And with the amount of comments I got from other trans people, by the way, thank you for the comments. They have always been my favorite thing to receive on YouTube. Like, even in my like older channel where I made like animation memes, that one's called Olin Sonic. None of you guys will remember that. But I used to make animation memes, and comments used to be my favorite thing to get, and they still are now. So imagine my shock when I had 11,000 views on my coming out video and like fucking a billion comments, and I loved reading every single one. Even the hate ones were funny to read because I could just be like, get like, oh, I'll never be a woman. You'll never catch this ratio. And then anyways, yeah, comments have always been my favorite thing to get on YouTube videos. Even if they're nonsensical, I love them. The amount of comments I got from other people like me, I realized this whole way of thinking is pretty common and normal. So common, in fact, that a certain incel trans pipeline has been documented. I'll link a video explaining that in the description. Ever since I was very little, I used to dream about waking up as a girl for a day. Just for a day. I used to sit in the little girl groups at school, despite me not, like, talking. I was fine just listening to them talk. I always used to I always used to and still are the quote-unquote gay kid, despite me not being gay. I think the fact I wasn't into sports or physical shit, and the fact that I only really interacted with girls made them think I wasn't like them. It being primary school and all, that's grades 1 to 6 for all you Americans. All the boys weren't, and let's be honest, I'm in grade 10, they still aren't, very educated about any of these things. Anything seen as, like, unusual or queer in any way was just gay. So I was just gay in their minds. A boy liking other boys, that's all I was. And I believed them. I still liked girls, so I thought I was bi. So I came out to everyone as bi, when I really was just folding to what people thought as me. I was a girl who liked everyone, not a boy who likes boys. And that whole sort of labeling bullshit gave me so much dysphoria. But I think we have yapped enough about, like, this topic. When you cut through the water barrier and the water swallows you whole, the loving cold of the sea, colors fly past you with spots of glowing algae below you. It feels like you're flying, with stars below you, who you've dipped your toes in, you've experimented, and so far it feels like home. You see some swimmers ahead of you, having the first-time experiences you are right now. Some seem to enjoy it, while others seem uncomfortable. Looking at the ocean is, for the most part, pretty socially acceptable. Hell, even thinking about jumping in is accepted. But that's the most you can do while still being considered a good person. The people in power have tried to limit how deep people can go into the ocean, making it so divers can only really experiment, never fully accept and understand. Others have tried to enforce groups of people to tell divers still thinking about going deeper in to get out, and how nice it was on the surface, and how they are the problem with the world, and nothing can stop them. Nothing can stop people from diving, who actually want to dive. So you decide to keep looking deeper, riding a whirlpool deeper into the weight of the ocean. Chapter 2, social media. This is why I don't go on TikTok. Now, chapter 1 is the most common form of dysphoria. This is definitely the most intense form. Being trans is really funny, because not only do you have to deal with both genders' beauty standards, you also have to deal with both genders' stereotypes. And the worst of it is on TikTok. Now, being the internet surveillance state that TikTok is, they know I'm a trans girl. So likewise, they show me videos along that line. But a little fun fact about TikTok is that its whole goal is to keep you on it for as long as possible, whether that be through positive or negative emotions. And I think they know that I respond best to negative. Whenever I go on TikTok and I see other trans people my age, and they pass so well. I've always been on the larger side. Like, I'm not fat, but I'm not, like, super skinny. I'm not in my Ariana Grande era, if you will. But I've always wanted to be. I've tried diets, I've tried exercise and other stuff, but it's just not in my DNA. And yet I see trans girls my age looking exactly how I wish I did. And I have to hope that I will someday, but I feel so jealous that they felt confident enough to come out at such a young age when you get exposed to perfect so often it's hard to not feel inferior. Of course, there are good things about social media, like this channel, for example. I felt so much more confident and happy having an outlet that people actually care about listening to. I really hope they don't just care about listening to my trans videos, because I do have because the video I'm gonna make after this is just me yapping about Deltarune. So I hope people watch that, but yeah. Even if this is like the only topic that people like watching from me, like that's fine. Like it's a topic that I know a lot about, and it's a topic that I feel nice to share. Anyways, I keep going off script. This is my second take of this recording. My first take, I didn't pronounce the words correctly, so it kind of sounded like they were all slurring together. I know we could understand what I'm saying. I know it's which I have gotten comments on other videos about me doing that and how people don't like that. So that's why I'm doing this like this now. But I just anyways, I'll get back on script. But acts like TikTok have made me spiral and get into a dark pit that I can't get out of. So yeah, I don't like TikTok, but TikTok isn't the only site I dislike. 4chan and Twitter. Yeah, let's talk about that stink pile. If you've been chronically online, you may have recognized this kind of drawing style on screen. It's called a soy jack. There's this video by Frankie Frey that I have on screen, explaining them in more detail, but they're basically caricatures of people you want to make fun of. It's a very big part of the internet culture for a while now. And, well, as expected, there are ones about trans people, which I do realize is just the norm of the internet. I'm not upset about that. Like, people are going to make fun of everything on the internet. Like, if you're a person of color, there are going to be racist stereotypes of you. If you're a gay person, there's going to be homophobic stereotypes of you. And you can't really be upset about that, because that's going to, like, no matter what you do, people are going to do that. But what I am upset about is how people online use trans people's suicides as punchlines, usually using this image paired with this soy jack. A little context about this image is that a 17-year-old trans girl went to the bridge and took a photo, uploaded it, and then jumped off the bridge, killing herself in the process. And a bunch of incels thought it was the funniest thing ever, and made a bunch of memes, and even Stone Toss, don't get me started on him, made a comic about it. And they constantly post it in the replies of any trans post. Do you know how exhausting that is? Do you know how awful it must feel for that girl's family? We are people too. We have feelings and goals and wants. We have rights that are being very quickly taken away. Another thing you may see is from transphobes in the comments is people saying 41% or they 41%ed themselves. Well, this is referencing the trans suicide rate, which is 41%, obviously. I mean, why would they use any other percent if it's not the... Anyways. And then the fact that they use that as a way of telling other trans people to kill themselves is fucking terrible. And the best part is that I've barely shown you anything. There are so many things they have done. Like, we are just people. I don't know why our existence has to be so political. And, well, talking about politics, as you go deeper, yet deeper, into the darker yet darker, gospel, entry number 17, waters, you start to doubt yourself. It's scary down here, and the only light is the one below you. Or was it above you? You're confused. It's hard to find words for how you feel. It's funny, we more know about the stars than we do our own oceans. I guess in a way, you know more about how others think you are than who you actually are. Your legs start to feel different. You keep swimming down. Chapter 3. 10 out, I mean politics. Never have I ever thought that America would have a president who's the love child of that World War II guy and the annoying orange. Yet here we are. Actually, it's really funny. Recently, there has been a clip discovered of one of Trump's old rallies. Here, I'll show you it.
You leave it the way it is. There have been very few complaints the way it is. People go, they use the bathroom that they feel is appropriate.
So if Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and want to use the bathroom, you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses?
That is correct.
Huh. It's almost like all the extremely recent anti-trans rhetoric has only been being spread so often as a scapegoat for the right to rally against to make their political views stronger. But they've never done that before, right? Right? Well, I mean, before trans people, it was gay people, no? Like Larry Craig that won anti-gay senator who got arrested for trying to have relations with a man inside a bathroom, and the countless of other types of projections from people claiming to be anti-LGBTQ. And well, I mean, before that, it was people of color being used as a scapegoat. Now, disclaimer, I'm not very knowledgeable about that history, so I won't comment about it too much in case I'm wrong, because, you know, as a white person, I shouldn't be talking about that. But just know that, like, they have been used as a scapegoat, and to make my point, like, that's just what I have to say. They have been used as a scapegoat throughout history. And even before that, women have always been oppressed and scapegoated. It's almost like they keep using people who they think are below them as a way to make the people who are above, so to make cis white men vote for the other cis white men. That's why the right is so powerful, because they use the only piece of leverage that they have, which is that they are privileged. They use that privilege to get above other people. And then those people who are also privileged vote for the privileged. That's why parties like the Greens in Australia, like, haven't been really, like, getting upwards, because they fight for equality for everyone. Whereas Pauline Hanson, the fucking Trump 2.0 inside Australia, like, that's why she's been, like, winning all the leads, because she, like, dick sucks all of the, like, privileged people in Australia. Anyways, trans people are just as human as the rest of us. Like, how all these other groups are. And the fact that the people higher than us are trying to make us all fight and hate each other, while the whole economy is going to absolute shit, and the Epstein files are, like, being released and trying to be covered, probably tells you something, right? Politics are meant to be for the people, not against the people. We have to stop fighting each other and start fighting the ones who actually do affect our lives. Trans people do bad shit. Yeah, just like how white people do bad shit. And people of color do bad shit. And women do bad shit. And everybody does bad shit. Every single group in human history has done bad shit. Pointing out that one person in a group of 1,000 does something bad doesn't make the other 999 people also bad. Like, we need to focus on the bigger picture here, guys, not where people go to piss. I mean, one trans kid playing sports for the gender that they feel the most comfortable with isn't really that big of a deal. I know biological women who've kicked many of the sporty boys' asses when I was a kid. And when it comes to the higher sports, if the athlete has been taking hormone supplements, then what's the big deal? With my pretty short time on hormones myself, I have already lost like 50% of my strength. Hell, some of my younger siblings are stronger than me. They're like under 10. Sports shouldn't have ever been a big deal to begin with. It's really, really dumb. If you bother to look at the science, like, it's night and day. And you might say, yo, V, that's like cool and all. But what's stopping a guy from pretending to be trans and then going to assault women? Or go into women's spaces with bad intent? Now, and to that I'd say, if some depraved motherfucker was thinking about doing that, they wouldn't go through all the effort of pretending to be trans. They'd just do it. Maybe to save their ass, they'd say that they are trans or some other excuse, but only because they've heard it supposedly happening so much online that they think that it is a valid excuse. Like, if we're looking at the statistics, trans women, like real trans women, don't assault women in women's spaces. But the right media always saying that that does happen, make people who aren't trans use being transgender as an excuse because they hear that happens all the time. If it wasn't being pushed so much that it happens, they wouldn't use that excuse. Like, they're just doing all this to make the trans community look like shit while saving their asses. And they don't even, they still get punished. And people like that should be punished, but not the innocent trans people just trying to live their lives. Now, it is your turn. Yes, you watching. Time for... As the light from wherever gets brighter and brighter, the water gets clearer and clearer. You look back and you can't see your legs. They have fins? A mermaid tail follows behind you, shimmering brighter than the stars. More brighter than a full moon on a summer's day. Brighter than the smile on your face as you finally figure it out. I've never been fit for the land. I've always wanted to have a tail of my own. Under the seas is a magically magical land filled with sea creatures and light. Here, finally this. This is your home. And you have your whole life ahead of you. and I'm so, so proud. Part 4, your turn. Okay, so I kinda lied. This is only a part 1. Like, this whole video is only part 1. I want to be as informative as possible. So I want to know your stories and your main triggers. I'll collect them all and read them out. The more comments I get, the more longer the video will be. I'll wait until I have at least enough for a half-hour video, but if I get more, I won't stop until I read them all. Take this as a little thank you for all your support as I work on my massive timeline video. But I promise you it will all be worth it. But in the meantime, I might start working on a delta theory video, as I would like to vary my content, so I'm not just that one trans YouTuber. But don't worry, it will still be the main focus on the channel. So yeah, the next video's wait time is completely up to you all. So if I get like 100 comments in the first day, then I will start working on it tomorrow. But if I get like 2 comments over the next 6 months, then I probably won't be able to make a part 2. Because this whole thing is going to be entirely community made. I think it'll be really cool, because it stops me from having to script it at all. But it also helps like get your personal stories across. And even if it's not like trans related, I'll include like a little bonus section if you have like questions or if you just want to be featured in the video. So yeah, the next video's wait time is completely up to you all. As soon as I get a comment, I'll add it to the script. Now, I love you all. Have an Amazon rest of your day. For some reason I wrote I have an Amazon rest of your day. I don't want you to have an Amazon rest of your day. I want you to have an amazing rest of your day or night. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. 21 minutes. Jesus Christ.